Hi guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with a video about some F1 news. We've got two bits of F1 news to talk about. First off, I want to talk about the new Red Bull livery that was launched yesterday. Apparently it's not on the new car. That will be announced at some point in the next few days, obviously with testing and all that. But talk about the livery quickly. I mean, it's not going to be a long subject, but I think it's pretty cool. I like the matte colour finish. It makes it, you know, a little bit different to all the other cars on the grid, which are all probably all shiny. But yeah, the matte finish is kind of cool. It is slightly different than livery, but as I said on Twitter, when it's going, you know, at speed, you're probably not going to notice it a huge amount. But something else I did notice as well, but it's not really to do with delivery, but just to do with the whole Red Bull team in general. They have got the Puma overalls and everything now, a flashback to what they had in like 2009, 2010. They were sponsored by Puma back then Alpine Stars took over, but the new Puma racing gear does look pretty cool. I think, I could be wrong, I think that Red Bull will be the only team sponsored by Puma, so yeah, we'll see what ends up being like that. But yeah, I think overall a pretty nice livery there. So yeah, let's talk about the second thing, that sort of the bigger news that will be in this video, and that is that, well, Rio Haryanto has now been confirmed at the second Manor seats, with all of our drivers confirmed for 2016, which is good now, so we can finally just talk about the whole season in general, about all the drivers. I know Manor isn't exactly the biggest team, so it didn't really make a huge difference on what we said, but Rio Haryanto from Indonesia, he does bring a lot of sponsorship money. You would say that's the main cause of him getting a Formula 1 seat, especially over someone like Stoffel Van Dorn, who obviously was a huge amount better than anyone else in GP2 last year. But yeah, Rio Haryanto, I mean, there was a really good point made by Josh, Super Joshy9 or Smooth Racing, however you know him. He made a really good point on Twitter yesterday, and that was to sort of briefly say, it was that Haryanto scored more points than Alex Rossi last year in GP2 in the same team. So that's definitely something to think about. That's a really good point, because we all look at Alex Rossi as like this amazing American driver, and we all look at, well, we don't all look at Rio Haryanto, but a lot of people will look at Rio Haryanto as just a pay driver. But you know, they've both got the same sort of experience at that level. I mean, Rossi, I think, has been in GP2 for 3 years, Haryanto for 4, but Alex Rossi, I think, was in World Series 3.5 for 2 years before that. So they've basically, Alex Rossi's got even more experience at that sort of level of racing than Haryanto, and Haryanto's been doing better. I think Haryanto got like 3 or 4 wins last year in GP2. He's not a slow driver whatsoever. And with the huge amount of fans that he has and the sponsorship money from Indonesia, I think this is it's good for Formula 1. It brings a whole new audience into Formula 1. I think, you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the first Indonesian driver ever to be in Formula 1. So that is definitely something different. It's good to have lots of different nationalities in Formula 1, as long as they're good at racing cars, and that's what Haryanto is. And I do think we do deserve to give every driver a bit of time. It's always going to be hard to judge someone in the slowest car, most likely on the grid in the Manor. So it's going to be really hard to judge how really good he is. I mean, if he ever steps up, we'll see, obviously, you know, how good he really is. But I think Haryanto, his main task for this season is to try and beat Pascal Wehrlein. Obviously, Wehrlein is a bit younger and, you know, is really highly rated. So if he can beat Pascal Wehrlein over the whole season, I think that's job done for Haryanto. He's proven himself worthy of Formula 1 drive. So let me know in the comment section down below. Have you heard of Rio Haryanto? To sort of start about this conversation, have you heard of him? And if you have heard of him, what did you think of his GP2 sort of driving? Do you think that he deserved to get a Formula 1 seat, or do you think it was more down to the money? But it was inevitable at some point. He's had so many Formula 1 tests over the last few years. I think it was just inevitable at some point that Rio Haryanto would be in Formula 1 with a team. It probably always looked like it was going to be one of the back-end teams, just because of the money situations. He does bring in a lot of money, whereas a lot of other drivers, you know, in the bigger teams, you don't really need the money. They just sort of go for the best drivers possible. Of course, every Formula 1 driver you see on the grid brings some sort of money to the team through like a personal sponsor or whatever. So, you know, everyone does bring sponsors, and the term pay driver I try not to use anymore, because I feel that pay driver is just something that you say if you don't like a driver, and I don't dislike any Formula 1 drivers. I mean, if you've got to Formula 1, obviously very envious of, you know, the people that get to Formula 1, because obviously as a kid getting to like Formula 1 and that was an incredible goal. But Obviously, it never happens for like 99.9999% of people that want to be a racing driver. It never happens, but you know, for the people that get, you've just got to be happy for them. And it's incredible to see Rio Haryanto. You know, his career, he's gone through GP2. Obviously, everything seems to have gone against him in some seasons, but he's really pulled it around. In 2015, he did have a really good season. I think he finished 4th or 5th in the championship, which is pretty decent. Let's be honest, it's pretty decent. And in my opinion, he does deserve a chance in Formula 1. Everyone that wins races in GP2, I feel, deserves a chance in Formula 1 of some sort. But that is it. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Let me know what you think down below. And it's very sad, Will Stevens is leaving us for 2016. Hopefully he gets an IndyCar drive with Max Chilton, and that would be #Dream Team. Thanks for watching. It's been Alex. Goodbye.